Today I'll be talking about how partners can best optimize their engagement with the Onboarding Center. I'll be talking about the Onboarding Center and the Fast Track portal. Both these resources can be used in conjunction to ensure a smooth engagement with the Onboarding Center and result in a customer's being successfully onboarded across all different workloads. What I'll do is I'll explain how these resources can be positioned by a partner for optimal engagement. First of all, let's start at the pre-sales stage. At the pre-sales stage, a partner has been working with the customer to establish the value potential contained within Office 365. Maybe this has been through workshops, through MECs, through showing them the modern productivity vision, or indeed using things like the Value Discovery Workshop. At the point where the customer is clearly looking like they're going to purchase Office 365, the partner has the opportunity to stand up a pre-purchase Office 365 tenant. The terms available on this tenant are generous. In the Fast Track portal, the tenant will have 90 days of availability to the customer and the partner for configuration and proof of concept in terms of what they're trying to achieve. There is actually another option in the Fast Track portal where they can stand up a test tenant. Again, the test tenant will last for 90 days. I can imagine being using the test tenant for things like training internal resource on onboarding for that specific customer scenario, or trialing out different versions to figure out which is the best option with the partner and customer. At this point, I thoroughly recommend that all partners register their customer's pre-sales tenant to the Fast Track portal. I'll explain why during the engagement process, but at this point the customer has yet to purchase and the Onboarding Center has yet to engage. At the point the customer purchases Office 365 and they reach more than 150 seats of eligible SKUs and deploy the tenant, the Onboarding Center is notified of the existence of the customer. At this point, the Onboarding Center go through a checklist to establish who is involved with the customer. The first port of call they make is to the field. Once they've established the person in the field responsible for the deployment of that customer, they will then look to engage with the partner. At this point, if the partner has already registered to the Fast Track portal the customer, the Onboarding Center is in good shape to know who to reach out directly to in the partner. Of course, the field are also providing this information, but the end result, if any partner gets into the Fast Track portal, registers the customer, then the Onboarding Center will find it and use that as a reference point when working with the field to establish who is the right partner to engage with. Once this is done, the Onboarding Center, the field and the partner have three options available to them. The first option is to call that they don't need the Onboarding Center. The Onboarding Center is a remote service. With that comes the limitations of running a remote service. There is still a need for somebody on site to actually do some of the information gathering and make some of the changes necessary to activate the service. So, if you choose not to use the Onboarding Center, then the customer or the partner will take the customer right through to the point where they can log on to all the different services. The next two options involve the partner working with the Onboarding Center. The first option is partner-led with Onboarding Center Assist. Here, the partner is taking the main lead and utilizing some of the services the Onboarding Center offer to help them support them through the process. On the flip side, the Onboarding Center could take the major lead and they use the partner to help them get to the point where the customer is deployed across the 5 different workloads available to them if they purchased E3, or indeed less if they have gone for a standalone SKU. The partner here has a choice when engaging with the Onboarding Center whether to supplement their resource pool with the Onboarding Center engineer. There could be various reasons for this. One of the reasons may be financial. The partner is working with a customer with a limited budget. They've established the value up front of the end solution, and they can make the budget stretch further and build out higher value solutions by using the Onboarding Center resource to fill out the more transactional nature of getting a customer onboarded. The other reason is, by using Microsoft Onboarding Center resources, the partner can establish credentials around the need, say, for network changes. If a customer is unsure about the network change, and a Microsoft person is saying, yes, this is definitely needed for the service, this will help the partner get through and remove some of the blockers that may exist in terms of what the need is to get Office 365 stood up. Other assets available in the Fast Track portal include the deployment plan, and what we end up with here is a single point of reference for both the customer, the partner, the field, and the onboarding center to work off. At this point, we're in a situation where the customer has had all the workloads available and enabled for logon. Now we need to look at data migration, moving from the old environment to the new environment. The Onboarding Center will be involved programmatically with mail migration if the customer decides to take up the adoption offer. Within the adoption offer, there are two choices. One is email migration. The other is to provide anything up to $60,000 in funding for partners driving one of the workloads to 15% usage. Again, the reasons for choosing mail migration from the Onboarding Center could be to stretch the budget further, or maybe the partner is a SharePoint partner, doesn't have core competencies over mail migration, and would rather the Onboarding Center take on that responsibility. Again, it's down to the best way of running the deal and figuring out up front before the Onboarding Center engage whether the mail migration is going to be activated or the adoption offer is going to be utilized by the partner. This is a negotiation between the partner and the field and the customer. Once we've reached the point where the customer is ready to log on to the services, the partner, and build out on-site the value-added services that are available to the customer once the platform has been made ready to log on. There is also the option to recycle and go back to the customer for existing customers, say where the mail migration has already occurred, and activate the other workloads that are available within Office 365. Again, the resources in the Fast Track portal will assist partners in getting those workloads activated. The Onboarding Center here is not engaged. Some of the things that we have connected to the Fast Track are things like the usage plan, which in support of things like assets of the Customer Success Center and the Office 365 Learning Center help customers get value out of their Office 365 investment immediately. Partners can position this as a way of getting customers enthusiastic about the Office 365 service, whilst landing the more complicated, intricate line of business integration or high-value business scenarios which are not covered in the core product. I hope you found this presentation useful, and I look forward to your feedback on Yammer. Thank you.